Princess K podcast show. Your host, Princess Kingsman. Okay, so this is part 3. Okay, and then we're going on to the topic of the life path of death. Okay, so the life path of death is a very smooth path. It's an easy path. Okay, which is why a lot of people go through it. Okay, it's a very wide path, okay, compared to the life path of life, which is a very narrow path. But the life path of death, which is a very wide path, is a very smooth sailing path, okay? You will find a lot of people on this path. A lot of people. You will find a lot of people on this path. It's not a lonely path. It's a path that you can walk with everyone and anyone. And staying on this path allows you to remain toxic. Okay, it allows you to remain toxic in your toxic ways, toxic thinking, toxic way of doing things. Unforgiveness, it allows you to not be forgiven, to hold grudges, even if it's 20 years grudge or 30 years grudge, or it's just, a little bit of misunderstanding between you and a person, or if it's a big misunderstanding and you blow it out of proportion and like, I am not going to choose to forgive this person can fuck off. I'm sorry, but I am going to swear in this video. I do apologize. So if you are a kid, now it's time to turn the video off, okay? Unforgiveness, bitterness, okay? It allows you to stay in your bitterness, okay? You're just bitter about life, about relationship, about people. You're just bitter, okay? It's not it's not a hard thing to be bitter, okay? And it allows you to be resentful. You stay being resentful. You resent things. You resent people. You resent your husband. You resent your wife. You resent your children. You resent your family, your parents. And it enables you to stay in the same pattern. Okay, toxic pattern is what you call a karmic cycle. A karmic cycle is a toxic cycle where you keep repeating it over and over and over and over and over without having any form of result. So I'll use me as an example. When I was much, much younger, we're talking in my early 20s, I had a really bad toxic cycle with one of my exes. Okay, he was one of the first boyfriends I ever really had. And we were on and off again for 7 years. Can you imagine that? 7 years. We were on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. Getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up. You can only imagine what that is. That was one of the most painful relationships I ever went through or I ever dealt with. It was so challenging that I lost sight of who I was. Remember that back then I didn't even know who I was. Okay, let me introduce myself to make what I'm saying make a little bit more sense to you. Okay, so I am a psychic. Okay, I have very, very, very powerful psychic abilities. Okay, I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudience, clairsentience, all clairs. Okay, I've got a very powerful sixth sense. I got a very, very powerful intuition. I'm a psychic medium. So a medium is, someone that's a bridge in between the physical realm and the spirit realm. Okay, which means I can channel a lot of spirits. I see a lot of spirits. I can sense spirits. I can sense things on a deeper level. Okay, so like now, as I'm talking right now, I can sense my spirit team are around me as I'm talking. Okay, and they're very protective. Okay, I feel their protection. They're very, very protective. Okay, and I'm an oracle. Okay, an oracle is, it's like the meaning of the occult. Although I don't study the occult, but the meaning of the occult is knowledge that is hidden. Okay, so I have a lot of spiritual knowledge. Okay, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything, but I know most things. Okay, and I'm a star seed, a seer, a prophetess. I'm a bridge in between the physical and the spirit world. I can travel to all other dimensions. I am a follower of the divine. I'm a light bearer, a torch bearer, a shaman, a warrior, a lone wolf, and an intuitive healer. I have healing abilities. Okay, I can heal. People can get healed just by being around me. I've got an healing energy and healing aura. Okay, which is why people like to be around me, whether they're toxic or they're not toxic. Okay, and so that is who I am. Okay, before I realized all my abilities, it took a very long time, and I'm a type of person that I'm very, very familiar with pain. I'm very familiar with pain because pain has taught me a lot of things that I thought I would never know. Okay. A lot of people think that I give witchy vibes, that I'm a witch, but the thing is, I am so much more than a witch. Okay. My abilities go beyond abilities of a witch. Okay. And I do say this not lightly. A witch, all witches are not bad. Okay, and I will always say this. Some witches are extremely good. They deal with the light. They are what we call the white witch because they deal with light things. Okay, and a dark witch is someone who deals with dark arts. Okay, dark arts, dark things. Those are the people you need to stay away from. Okay, so back to the life path of death. Okay, you remain in a toxic pattern. So eventually, I had to stop the toxic cycle I had with my ex. And eventually, we both moved on. Okay? You get stuck in the same pattern, same cycle, same pattern of thinking, of looking at things, of talking to people, same patterns of everything. Okay? You don't change, you keep repeating it, you don't change. Not changing or being uncomfortable, so you're very comfortable. It's that you get stuck in your comfort zone. You don't want to move out of your comfort zone, which I have been there. Comfort zones are not easy to move out of, but I can testify to that. So not trying new things. Okay, not trying new things. Always, a lot of people don't like change. I can beat my chest and say a lot of people don't like change. They hate it. Oh my God, a lot of people hate change. I am what you call obsessive compulsive disorder, okay? And I say that lightly because sometimes I am and sometimes I know. And I'll tell you that because over the years, I've learned to get control over that. Okay, it's an everyday thing. You work on it every day. Okay. If I set my house at a certain place and I put things in certain places and I come back home and I find out that it's been moved, that's how I know that somebody has been in my house. Okay. Sometimes I can sense it when somebody has been in that they're not supposed to be in. Okay. So that's what you call being in touch with your senses, being in touch with your instincts, being in touch with your body. Okay. Being in touch with your spirit. Okay. Because we are all spirits living a human experience. Our soul never gets tired. That's why it goes everywhere while we're asleep. A lot of us, we naturally astral project, but we're not even aware that we astral project. Okay. And when that happens, you realize that, oh, this has moved. Who's been here? So, and that is why when you don't try new things, you tend to get stuck in a pattern. And when you're used to that pattern, sometimes it is difficult to drop. I'm saying this from experience. Once you're used to a pattern, it is very, very difficult to drop. I'm a very spontaneous person. I can be spontaneous with my hair, with my clothes, with the things I wear, with the things I do, how I rearrange my house, how I rearrange everything. I can be spontaneous with my cooking. I can be spontaneous with absolutely anything. I'm a type of person that I like change. I get tired of things quite easily. And that's why throughout the years, I've always switched jobs because I get tired. Okay, I get tired of the same thing. So being on this path kills your spirit. Okay, it dumbs your spirit down. There's so many things that we do in the physical realm that we do to our physical body that kills our spirit. Okay, there's food that we eat that kills our spirit. When you eat meat, when you eat other unhealthy things, I'm not judging. I am still working on that myself because I love food. Anybody that knows me knows I love food. Okay, so I'm not judging anybody here. It's an everyday working thing. Okay, so it kills your spirit. You eat whatever you want, you get involved in toxic pattern, toxic things. There's some musics that you're not supposed to listen to because of the wordings. There are some movies you're not supposed to watch because I screen my movies. I screen the things that I watch and listen to now because my spirit is very, very sensitive. I have a very, 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 very sensitive spirit. I'm very, very sensitive to energies, and everything is energy. Music, food, everything is energy. Okay. Words are energy. Okay. So it is, you do things that kill your spirit when you're on the life path of death. Okay. Your spirit dies slowly. Okay. When it's not exercised, it's like when you're exercising your voice, your throat chakra, it gets stronger. When you're exercising your body, it gets stronger, it gets fitter, it gets good. But when you don't exercise something, you don't exercise through prayer, through meditation, however way you practice your own faith, if you don't exercise it, it will die a natural death. Okay, it will be silenced. It will be there, but it would be crushed. Okay, and that is why you're more vulnerable to attacks when you're on this path. When you're not choosing to heal, you're not choosing to take time to meditate, sit with yourself. Sitting still is very important because you hear a lot of things while you're sitting still. Okay, and you can hear things more when you're sitting still. You can hear your instincts more, you can hear your ego more, you can hear you more. um so because sometimes I get tired of myself. I'm like, oh God, I'm tired of myself, but it's normal. You can only imagine if you're moving with somebody else. You can only imagine that how that person is going to feel, which is why I was asking earlier on, can you live with yourself? Can you marry yourself? Can you live with yourself? Can you live with you? Can you marry you? Whatever answer you get, you already have the solution. If you cannot marry you, then you know you have some work to do. And if you can marry you, then you know that you are aware of your own personality, your own character, your own behaviors and patterns, and the way you think, the way you talk, the way you do things, you're aware of it. Okay? So you're more vulnerable to attacks when you are on this path because you are not protected. You're not protecting yourself over anything. Okay? You are not protecting. You have to find a way, in a healthy way and in a safe way and in a light way, to protect yourself. You cannot, and I will only say this once, you cannot fight dark with dark. That's a suicide mission. I can tell you that now. You cannot fight dark with dark. Only light can do that. The minute you start fighting dark with dark, that's the minute you have completely lost the battle. Okay? Because with the dark realm, you will always find others that are more powerful than you. But in the light realm, regardless of who is powerful and who is not, because you're of the light, you will always win. Okay, so I will leave that there for today. I hope you've learned something new from me, and I've learned something new myself too as well. So thank you so much for listening. Okay, I will be back soon and I will talk about more topics. Okay, it's a surprise. All right, and I will tell you the release date of my new um, series called Reflections. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Do stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can press the bell and it will notify you whenever I post. Okay, I love you always and goodbye. God bless. Mwah.